Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Marissa Dodson. I'm an attorney and the Public Policy Director at the Southern Center for Human Rights. We are opposed to this bill, and we are opposed to it for many of the reasons that have already been articulated here today. First and foremost, Georgia has become known as a national leader in criminal justice reform. This is because of the great work of the Council on Criminal Justice Reform. There were years of multiple layers of vetting and study and assessment on what was going on in our criminal justice system, with a focus on holding people accountable, saving taxpayer dollars, and keeping the public safe. These provisions in this bill were not vetted or recommended by the Council on Criminal Justice Reform. In fact, in the Council's final report, what they asked the General Assembly to do was to actually consider non-monetary options for bail. Let's just be clear about what bail is. I think we dove right in. And we have to remember that these are individuals who have been charged or accused of a crime. Pretrial detention is punitive. Being in a cage, being incarcerated before you have been found guilty is a punishment. And we should not reserve this punishment only for people who cannot afford to get out of jail. This is not a public safety issue. If this was a public safety issue, we would say we would want to narrow the idea of who gets out of jail because we would be concerned about what they did. It is okay if you have money. You can go right back to your community. But if you don't have money, you have to stay in jail at the risk of losing your job, your housing, your relationships with your children. Everything that we know about pretrial detention is the outcomes are worse for people. You are more likely to be arrested. The longer you are incarcerated, you are more likely to get a jail time sentence. You are more likely to find yourself in that cycle of the criminal justice system. What we would ask you all to do is consider, and we do agree that the amendments are better than the bill was as it was originally introduced, but we would just ask you to consider the utility of cash bail generally, recognizing that we are not having a problem. The sponsor has not articulated that we are running into any issues with regards to people being charged with local ordinance violations or misdemeanors that are coming back into the public and causing compromising public safety. There is no connection to failures to appear being connected to just people being released on their own recognizance. This is a no issue. We believe that this is something that is being pushed by the bail industry because they are concerned that as the country and jurisdictions all across the country recognize that cash bail doesn't keep us safe, that they are concerned about their industry. So please do not fall into the trap of being concerned about Georgians in terms of public safety or taxpayer dollars, because this would actually force local jurisdictions to incarcerate folks who do not pose public safety risks and compromise constitutional rights of people who just don't have enough money to pay for their release. With that, I'll take any questions. But my remarks.
There are no questions.